Welcome back to FlowState, an excursion with me thinking, talking, discussing some of the key points that we are focusing on to amplify the human experience. How can we dial in our daily actions to amplify the best possible version of our future selves? I think everything that we do in the moment is a reflection of where we want to be. Not losing sight of that is important because so often we get distracted. It's only natural. But those distractions impede our ability to realize our dreams, our goals, our future version of us. I like to use this analogy. When you're at the gym lifting weights, you're not actually building muscle, right? You're breaking down the muscle tissue to promote muscle growth during recovery. So your actions in the gym are really in alignment with your future you, right? The idea behind it is that you put in the effort for delayed gratification. It's the same concept. Beautiful day here in Tenerife. Most days are quite beautiful. It has the feeling of eternal spring and fall, whichever you prefer. More or less the same, actually. Fall and spring, I guess. See if we can get Teide. Beautiful views of Teide. I'm gonna clean this. There we go. So we're gonna go to the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the almighty, powerful Atlantic. Just being next to nature is so humbling, especially nature that is active, right? When you go to the woods, although it's very active, you wouldn't know it because things move very slowly. Whereas looking out into the ocean, you see the movement, this relentless position of time that is so profound in relation to our human experience, which is so short. Which leads me to think about some of the concepts that we were talking about in my last video of not falling into a trap that is so easily done. And I would venture to bet, not knowing any statistics here, that the vast majority of people in the Western world are consumed by the distractions and essentially live their life in a blink of an eye and are left with regrets, left with relationships that could have been fixed, deepened, worked on. And the real question is how you maximize your ability to make as much money as you can while not compromising or, I'm going to use this word very specifically here, sacrificing the things that are most important. Because as we've been discussing, and most likely you're familiar at least with the concept that, money doesn't buy you happiness and all those things, right? Money is simply a tool to provide you with opportunities should you choose to take them. Or you can look at it this way, invest in them. I'm much more, and this is a personal anecdote, interested in experiences rather than material things. This all is relative to the amount of money that you have, and I'm not just talking about investments, which are not liquid, which are in fact not real until you realize profit or loss, when you're actually taking action and withdrawing the investment. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. You can say that you're up, but until you actually realize profits, it's just a number on a screen. Nothing's really changed, because that could disappear in a blink of an eye. It's really no different than going to the casino and laying it all on black or whatever. It's a form of gambling. Anyways, it can be a very productive tool, a very useful tool to amplify resources in a way that's no accidents today. Haha. Live to fight another day. My point is this. Sacrificing the essence of life for something that is so inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, is it worth it? That's literally the question. Are you willing to give up years for someone else's dream? And the benefit to you in that time might be tangible. You might have an incredible job that pays you an incredible salary, but it also may require putting in the same amount of hours that an entrepreneur has to, which is, 24/7 basically. It's a real burden, but within that burden, you find total control and freedom. And it's a trap both in the workforce and in the entrepreneurial space that can be so compelling and captivating. It also really just depends on your situation, your life situation. Are you married? Are you responsible for raising children? Do you have elderly parents that you need to take care of? These are all real world consequences to not being able to afford certain realities in your daily existence, okay? The location in which you live dictates so much of your ability to live fully and experience life, at the same time balancing what kind of job you do. There's no question that the biggest paying jobs in general are concentrated in cities. That's true everywhere. So I often ask some people, my friends, and anyone really, when they say, "Oh, where do you live?" "I live in such and such a place." "Oh, wow, that's amazing. You must go do all of these things that you can only do in that particular city." And 9 times out of 10, they all say no. It's been like 2 years since I've been to this museum, or it's been 7 months since I've done this thing or that thing, And then I guess I'm like, well, why do you live there? And then their answers are generally all over the place, which is to be expected. You know, oh, I have a job here. I was like, oh, that's interesting. What's your job? And then they start talking about it. It's like, oh, do you enjoy this? I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's like, well, do you feel like you could be, I guess, like, what is the purpose at that point when it's just okay? Is it because the company that you're working for is paying you just enough money not to quit, but also just enough money to keep you in that one place? Because if it's that amount or less, you probably should consider a career change, or at least explore the possibility of asking for a raise or more responsibility, anything that can push that number as well as the responsibility up. Because a lot of companies strategically offer salaries just below or just above the point at which it would start posing questions for the employee to make a lateral move and to change their perspective. But it's done strategically to keep people in place, and it's very effective. It's extremely effective. I find it interesting, you know, I think it's like, the amount of resources that are being wasted for things that don't enrich the lives of so many people is the reason why people stay in these jobs. To me, that's just incredible. You're giving up so much of your life for someone else's benefit. Now, you may say that you want certain things, you want a nice car, you want all these things, and sure, that's great, but it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to make you fulfilled driving your whatever to your whatever house. Maybe the first couple of months you're like, oh, this is amazing. I'm so happy I sacrificed so much for this really nice car. So few people can actually afford the things that they have. It's about recalibrating. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I did not pay attention to that little rock there. It's a good thing too, because I don't want to fall or get distracted. So that point leads me to think about credit and the consequences of getting involved in the framework of buying things that you can't afford with the hope of being able to pay for it later. personally, I was confused about credit, how it worked, the dangers of credit cards and so forth. Just this continuous trap of, that people find themselves in. You know, it's funny, I come up this way. I just found another way down here. I have to say, I am loving these high top shoes. The grip on this thing, these shoes are insane. I'm basically just going straight down, and the grip, let me just show you guys. It's like, wow. These are truly my favorite shoes. I love these things. What a day. Woo! Wow. There's someone else down here. I don't really see that many people down here. If you can imagine, you know, you have to carry whatever you're bringing down or up. And I do enjoy running up this hill as quickly as I can. It's fantastic. This cave is also super cool. There's all kinds of caves on this island. There's a whole culture of people that were living in caves, that they carved out caves for many, many years, especially in the south of the island where the weather is more consistent. It rains in the north, and it gets a little cooler also. But in the south, there's tons of caves that are still there, that some even have doors on them. They've built doors. It's crazy. Where are we off to today? Again, we're here to do two things. One is FlowState, which is what we're doing now. And then the second thing is setting up a shoot for some videos that I'm publishing on our social media channels. Kind of double dipping, if you will. The flow state for me, as I'm developing this, and I think what I'm really enjoying a lot of is just this kind of raw experience, not edited, just flowing with my thoughts, my perspective. And the more I do this, the better I will be at articulating my position, the things that are on the top of my mind, things that just happened. There's so many things that pop into my mind, and it's just too much sometimes. I'm not able to hold on to these thoughts and articulate them in a timely manner before they disappear. Let's see, I think we're gonna go a little bit further today. Check out some cool spots. Maybe keep exploring down. Explore the other way as well. I love these rocks. Wow, this looks like gold. Amazing. So, I don't know what time it is. I think it's 10 something. The next high tide is at 11. And when it's low tide here, the water really recedes and exposes all kinds of rocks that go out into the ocean, which is fantastic. What a beautiful concept. You know, it's like you're covering up an entire ecosystem. No way. Look at this. So cool. This is salt. Fantastic. What? Wow. Woo. Look at this. This is sea salt. It looks very clean too. Let me taste. Amazing. Wow, I wish I had a container. This is super amazing. Look at this. Finding salt by the side of the ocean. Wow. Maybe I'll have to figure out how to bring some back with me. So, salt, interesting. Every morning, the first thing I do after I wake up is drink a glass of water. And then I make my morning coffee, which is more of a, well, I guess coffee is a drink, but it's more than just coffee. So I use sea salt. I get the highest quality salt I can find wherever I am in the world. There's plenty of amazing salt here with salt producers collecting ocean water and making salt in a traditional way here in the Canaries, which is awesome. I use 100% cacao powder. I use coconut oil, or when I have access to it, MCT oil, and butter. The coconut oil is virgin, raw, just pressed, not any other kind of processing. The butter is grass-fed. The cacao is the best quality I can find, as well as the salt. And when I'm cycling on creatine, I put a scoop of creatine in there. And sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I will also put a scoop of clean protein powder. So unflavored, basically just the cleanest protein powder I can get my hands on, always unflavored. I don't want any extra shit. And that is a highly processed food, protein powder. So I try to, it's like Someone's building a house. Sweater. Probably walk up that way too. So anyways, I take the butter, the cacao, the salt, the coffee. Oh, I put cinnamon as well. Fantastic. And also, there's two types of cinnamon actually. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but one of them is actually toxic if you consume a lot of it. So anyways, I drink that. And the interesting thing about this coffee drink is that without the protein powder, because obviously there's calories in that, there's calories in everything, but the biggest difference is that I fast for the better part of the day. So what's interesting is that fat doesn't take you out of a fasted state. The cacao powder is mostly fat, but there's some carbohydrates in there as well. But it's such a low amount that it probably doesn't take me out of my fasted state. And I love the benefits of cacao. I think it's an incredible medicinal product if leveraged correctly. I highly recommend trying this coffee drink. I absolutely love it. It's kind of like a modified bulletproof coffee, if you will. Oh man, when you get a kind of a faster cadence, stepping on all the rock, woo, it's fun. But it's taking every ounce of brain power I have. Fantastic. Kind of an overcast day here, which is okay by me. The last video I did was a little rough. We had some technical issues. The app on my phone was crashing. I had to reshoot it 3 times and there was an issue with the sound. But I'm committed and dedicated to making these videos because they will provide actionable insight into elevating the human experience. And this is true for everybody that is interested in transforming their life. It's really all about daily action for your future you. That's really what it comes down to. So many things are at play. Presence is something you're going to hear me talk incessantly about because it is truly the foundation to a happy and fulfilled life. Wow, I kind of just dipped up here. Whoa. So, thinking about daily actions, what happens if you fall off your schedule because of a planned event that you chose to do? And because of that, you did some woohoo did some things that derailed your progress, but it was a choice. So I'll use a personal anecdote. So this past weekend, we had organized a barbecue, which we do a lot of here. And so what that means is from 12 p.m. to like 9 p.m., let's say, it's fucking on. It's a party. Lots of food, amazing food, labor of love food, sensory overload food, right? Which takes energy and effort and time, resources as well, but mostly time. And then it's a party, right? You know, it's a party. So there's a bunch of people that come over, cooking, barbecue, lots of wine, lots of smoking, cannabis, of course, although some people smoke tobacco, DJing, dancing, kids running around, adults having fun, the sun is out. I mean, it's just truly fantastic. But you are going to pay the price, like I did this morning. I drink very little alcohol at this point. I'm just kind of over it. I drank a lot for many years. Love to party, stay up all night, stay up for 2 days, stay up for 3 days. But those days, for the most part, are behind me. I stubbed my toe. You know, I don't like these smaller rocks. It's much more difficult. But I'm almost to this point, so I figured, why not? Woo! Maybe I need to climb up a little bit more. It's really amazing. So many rocks, different colors and shapes, sizes. There's also a lot of trash that gets washed up onto this beach, which is quite sad. Whoa. All right, it's a little rough. It's more of a small rocks down here. All right, cool. I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, not firing on all the cylinders this morning. So, I woke up, my normal schedule, anywhere between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., just really depending on when I actually go to sleep. Oh man, look at this thing, fire hydrant. Not a fire hydrant. What are those things called? Fire extinguisher. Yeah, so I woke up, my normal schedule, and then did a bunch of work. I did about an hour of training, which I came down here and I walked. And then started cooking, started getting the barbecue set up, you know, all that stuff. It was like maybe 20 people, not that big. Maybe 8 kids, 9 kids, and then the rest were adults. So anyways, I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. I was done. All right, let's go this way. This is much, much better, these types of rocks. It's actually lava. So anyways, I went to bed 9 or 10. Actually, what did I do? This would be a cool spot to record actually. So what did I do? I went to bed at like 10, and just to give you a little perspective, the last person to go to bed was at like 4:30 or 5. So even though today is a holiday, this was on Sunday, today's Monday, to me, bedtime is the most important thing, sticking to that routine. It means compromising on the things that appear to be fun in the moment, which they are, of course, but my future me demands that I have an incredible and productive day every single day because I feel amazing. I feel amazing when I sleep well, and the day benefits the night before. You know, the day benefits from having a full night's sleep, really deep sleep. And so that's a priority of mine. It's a priority that, you know, when I stopped DJing at 9, I packed up my shit and took care of a few things, and then I was in bed by 10 o'clock, sleep by 10:01. But today, I still woke up, not hungover or anything, but still feeling the effects of, you know, the cannabis and just having a long day of sun and party and all that. So, to me, the action that I needed to take this morning was executing the calendar which I had planned the week before. I don't have to think about anything. I just execute the thing that I already thought about doing. And the commitment, I think this is where I'm gonna shoot. The commitment is to myself and to trust the process so that I can reap the benefits of the thing that I thought of in the moment when it was time to think. There's times to think and there's times to take action. I'm gonna pause the video now. I'm gonna set up my other camera and shoot this other video, and I'll check in with you in a little bit. All right, welcome back. The sun is coming out. I probably should have waited a little bit longer to record, but you know, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. What a great location this is. It's a little bit further than I've gone in the past, but I think it's lovely. We're right at 11 a.m., which is peak high tide, which honestly I feel like maybe it's a little bit before 11. High tide I think is at 11. Ugh. I'm also just thinking if I should edit out the gaps where I'm not talking, just thinking or trying not to fall. Or maybe I just keep it raw and all this stays in. I guess we'll see. I don't know if I like the small rocks though. This is cool. Look at this beautiful piece of wood. Wow, it's so soft. All right, well, I'm gonna focus on not falling or hurting myself on these small rocks. These are the worst because they are slippery, not in terms of their grip, but I guess not slippery, but they fall out of place very easily. Sand. You know, you could probably, this is actually quite cool, this little beach. I'll have to come back here when it's low tide, and then I bet you could get out and swim into the ocean. It's just the rocks are a little intense. I also want to say I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's fun to be able to go on these excursions, show you all some different areas of this beautiful and powerful island. Also, it's a great time to be shooting considering the sun is in the perfect location in the afternoon. The sun sets that way, so it kind of goes over. And it also makes that sound go. That's an important aspect of the sun that a lot of people don't understand. It makes that sound go. Oh, you can hear those rocks. Those are crazy. When the water goes back into the ocean, you hear that? Wow. Not the most comfortable if you're out there. Woo! I feel that mist, that ocean breeze. These little rocks, not ideal for walking. it's interesting because I've been seeking for something I didn't know was right in front of me the whole time, and that is the feeling I get when I get connected to people and provide some guidance and clarity to help them through their unique struggles, whether it's a specific issue that they're challenged with or more long-term kind of personal development. Whenever I have conversations with people, there's always this deep connection I have that I believe connects me to the struggles that they're facing, most of the time in a very kind of rational way, because I've been through those struggles. Personal development work is some of the most challenging if done correctly, because in order to do it correctly, you really have to go deep, and you cannot ignore the things that are the underlying issues that, in my opinion, enable your blocks to preventing you from feeling blissed out every day. To me, it's all about taking action and not allowing yourself to be manipulated by your own misunderstanding of emotions, and furthering that by not taking action. Ideas will only take you so far. I'm sure you've heard this because it's nothing new, but someone with a shitty idea who takes action will always win relative to the person with a great idea who never takes action. Always. Wow, this is... I feel like just being here on these rocks, navigating, my whole body is engaged. It's really a whole different kind of training. It's both mental, physical, balance. It's fantastic. Man. It's riveting stuff right now. Riveting. I feel like going back is faster for some reason. So what is it about so many situations in life that lead to further blocks and resistance to doing the thing you want to be doing, and allowing that to be the process as opposed to a means to the end. It's like it's a real struggle. I do understand and I relate because it's taken so long for me to get to this place. Not necessarily in terms of time. I mean, I'm gonna say about 7 years, and it's obviously counting, but there was a real inflection point after working deep in my past. I had to get clear in order to understand where I am in the present moment. You cannot make meaningful progress with understanding that you have the power to control your past, your present, and your future. But it all comes back to getting clear on your past. Those conversations that you're putting off, why are you putting them off? What is it about those conversations that's providing you with so much resistance, all the while you knowing how beneficial it is to have these conversations or to do those things in order to get to where you want to be, which is really just being present in the moment and doing the thing that's right in front of you, not being distracted. Whew. It's wild. It's like your eyes are scanning the rocks ahead of you, maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead, and it's about sustaining that cadence, and you can just float from one rock to another. You know, it's interesting. It's kind of a beautiful metaphor for life. Whew. So let's talk about taking action. There are things that I would rather not do for one reason or another, but I know that the long-term goal requires doing the thing, not just doing the thing, being present. Oh, whew. That was a good little run there. Well, where's that salt? I'll be back tomorrow. Get some salt. Found it. To me, it was the clear connection between wanting to avoid to do something and relishing in the process. Because the process, like the present moment, is all we have. And if you can shift the mindset from chasing dopamine to chasing the struggle and living in it and thriving in the work, you begin to shift your idea of what the joy That's a good place for a fuck. Ugh. I'm not really an adrenaline junkie, but I do enjoy this shit. This is fun. I mean, I like a little adrenaline here and there. It's good. It's not for everybody, of course. We were all the way to that point. I don't know if you can see. So I love the idea of reframing the process of doing the mundane tasks to achieve the goal, which in theory is the thing that's going to bring you fulfillment and joy, but it never does. It's like buying a brand new car, or you get your new cell phone, iPhone, whatever the fuck, and it's cool for like a day, and then it's just another iPhone. Like the one you put in the drawer, or the one that you just gave up and sold, whatever. All right, here we go. This is the beginning of starting to break a sweat. Get a little training done. Fantastic. Oh, so great. I don't know if you can see, but that's the rock face we're climbing up. So, how do we enjoy every moment of every day, of everything, motherfucker, that hurt. You know, even that. So what, you know, stab myself with a cactus. It's actually, yeah, it's a cactus. Bleeding. Whatever. I love it. I'm here. Couldn't be greater experience, because every experience is great. You know, what is bad? What is good? These are all constructs. I mean, we can agree on certain things, but at the end of the day, they're still constructs. Enjoy every moment of every minute of every day. There is no bad, there is no good. It just is what it is. If you learn how to do this by implementing a few techniques to reinforce good behavior, that reinforces the goal, you can achieve the closest thing to enlightenment that we have in the Western culture. Presence will set you free from all the bullshit, all the distractions, all the things that don't matter. Let me see fucking. My legs are burning. delayed gratification is something to work on. Don't rehash things that have already been resolved in the past. They do not matter. They have no merit in the present. Feels good. After I catch my breath. That hill up there is where we're going. Quick recap. That point all over there is where we were. One day soon we will go and venture around that point. Okay. All right. It's so easy. Oh, is it easy just to talk and talk and talk about the things? You ever recommend to someone that they just breathe at a moment where that is the single most important thing to do, and yet all they could think about doing is telling you to go fuck yourself and possibly even smash your face in, right? Put yourself in that position. How open or closed are you? How locked in are you to reducing the amount of time that you spend unraveling the little thing that set you off or triggered you or whatever? It's like people who get upset about, politics and other people's opinions. I could not imagine going through life like that. Just completely co-opts the entire experience of what it's like to be human. Rage is low status. Low status. People who yell, people who get angry, this is all low status shit. Are you not in control of your emotions? Are you a child? How does that make you feel? Can't be good. So let's get back to the practical. 99% of the time, there's an argument, there's a debate, there's flared up emotions. You think the person that's talking to you, who put you in this state of mind, gives a shit how you feel? No. So why should you succumb to self-harm Why would you allow that to happen? If you were in control, you would understand that those moments are the moments that define us, our character. This is especially true for children. Just realized my battery might die on this, so if we cut out, that'll be the end of that. Patience. Patience. Anybody out there that has children understands deeply what I'm talking about. The internal rage that one feels when they are not in control of their faculties. It's a version of mental illness. All of the thoughts that fire off in your mind, they're just that. They're just thoughts. How you choose to act is what defines you. Not even what you say for the most part. Children are an incredible learning experience. There's many facets to that. Look, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we wish we wouldn't have done. But that's where reframing your past, learning from those experiences, and then using them as tools to meditate on, reflect, be introspective, be in control. Don't operate from a place of psychotic behavior. Hola, buenos días. Oh yeah, this hill is, it's brutal. It's also amazing. You know you're fit if you can run up this thing and just have a little elevated baseline heart rate. Obviously that's not me. I got a ways to go. Kids, they're the best tool any parent can have to show yourself your true colors. Are you a selfish prick who hates life? I know some people are. What a sad existence. Or do you embrace every moment with opportunity, stillness, intense presence, leveraging every moment, every morsel to enrich the human experience for yourself and, most importantly, the people around you? You're not going to get there if you can't do it for yourself first. All you need is one conscious breath. You do not need to meditate for 4 hours a day. Daily actions that lead to great results happen with consistency and dedication to a brighter, more powerful future you that in 6 months' time, 1 year's time, 10 years' time. Let's break it down. One day, tomorrow. What are you doing today that will enrich your life tomorrow? Still watching 8 hours of Netflix every day? How much time do you spend on social media? Set yourself a timer. Use the screen time app. Look at the data. It's all there for you to use as tools. After 1 week of dedicated practice and reorganization, getting into a rhythm, locking in, seeing the future, it is very difficult to be resonating on a higher frequency plane. It's about the work and the sweat that you put into it, the determination that you have to no longer feel the way you did yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. That's what this is all about. Not giving a shit what other people think or say. They do not matter. Old friends will tie you down. They will break you down. They will erode the fabric of your existence. And they will consume your energy and destroy every part of your future you in the positive. They will suck you in to whatever shit they're going through. And it's your responsibility to take care of yourself first so you can be in service to others. All right. I made it. Thank you so much for dropping in with me on FlowState. Till next time.